I was at a trade show and came across the Terravas booth, and they had a bunch of different products, and one of them was these champagne fluted vases. And turns out that you were only 2 hours up the road from us, and we struck up a conversation, and we tried a few and loved them. And then we decided not long after that we were going to start to replace all of the vases we had with the Terravas vase, just because they work better for us. We could fit more of them in each container on the property. They last longer, they look better, they're easier to use, and it's just a win-win for us, and it's a win-win for the families that come bring flowers to their loved ones at the cemetery. It holds the flowers tighter, the material lasts longer, it doesn't discolor like these do, and you'll see this has a hole in it. These seem to, because of the metal pins, when you're stacking them in the container, a lot of times they'll get holes in them and it ruins them. These are not as damaging to each other, and we just like these a lot better. Most people don't bring enormous bouquets to the cemetery. They're buying smaller bouquets, and this holds plenty. This will hold 10 or 15 stems, and because it's a narrower shape, it holds them in a tighter package, so the wind doesn't damage them as much. And we have crows that come along that try to see what's in the water, and it makes it harder for them. A lot of times people will put flowers in these, and the next morning they're strewn all over around the grave because it was too easy for the birds to get in there. Well, this solves that problem. You know, everybody that has permanent in-ground vases has the same problem. When it rains or when it waters, a little bit of silt that's in the water gets down into the vase, and then it cakes on, and you can't get it out. And so we try to make the visitor experience as easy as possible. People are coming out to see a loved one. It's very emotional, and if they get out here and they brought flowers and there's no vases, or they can't get their vase out, you know, you've created a problem for that family, where we have hundreds of these throughout the cemetery and make it very easy for them to place their flowers and have a good visit, because cemeteries are about the living, not about the deceased. And the more help you can be to the families, the better. That's the other thing about these, is we had the mosquito abatement people come to us and ask us to start using temporary vases, because the permanent ground vases sit there with water in them, and it's a big breeding ground for mosquitoes. And with temporary vases, especially the Terravas vases, we don't have that problem. So there's about 4 or 5 different benefits to the Terravas vases that we use. Many cemeteries don't provide any vases at all, and the fact that we're providing vases with a place to put the clippings, with a place to fill with water, they are very happy just that we're providing a vase at all. What we try to do here is, when we're looking at doing something new, we ask 2 questions. Does it improve our visitor experience, which these Terravas vases do, or does it improve our process in some way? And again, the Terravas vases improve our process because we're not having to dig out in-ground vases that are stuck. We just simply throw the flowers away when they're gone, and put the Terravas vase back in our receptacle next to our water supply. Pretty simple. You're there to serve your families, and the better you can make their experience, the better for everyone. And I would recommend the Terravas champagne fluted vases to any cemetery out there, because it will make a better a visit for the families that are coming. They'll leave happier. There'll be less complaints to the cemetery. So I would recommend them to anybody that's running a cemetery anywhere in the world.